So, Super Mario Flash. If you remember this game, your childhood was awesome.
Oh my goodness, we did it! Indignant lament complete!
Now, if you've watched the world record for this game's speedrun, you might have a few burning questions. Specifically, you might be wondering, what on earth did I just watch? So, I'm making this video as a guide to explain to you what I did here and how you can do the same. So, just some background, Super Mario Flash came out in 2007, and pretty early on, players realized that if Mario and Luigi get up to a very high speed, they can keep moving at that high speed because there is no speed cap until and unless they are slowed down or stopped by some other factor. Now, this information was not really used in speedruns of the game because nobody really knew how to get up to those high speeds in the first place. That is until 2017, when a player named The Piano Enthusiast figured it out and used it in a speedrun. As you can see here in level 3, he gets to a really high speed and uses that to skip a platform cycle. So now let's see how he does it. First of all, you have to be Big or Fire Mario. That is absolutely necessary in order to perform Speed Glitch. Then Piano stands underneath this coin block a little bit to its right, and then he crouch jumps. Once he is crouch jumping, and as he is approaching this coin block, he actually uncrouches so that Mario's hitbox and the coin block's hitbox overlapped for a brief moment of time. When this happens, it triggers the game's hit detection. Now, when Piano taps left, the game actually tries to push Mario away from the center of this coin block and rockets him off towards the right at a very high speed. Then, when Piano holds right, Mario keeps moving at that high speed until Piano decides to slow down again. Now, if you have ever actually tried playing around with Speed Glitch for a while, you might notice that the actual speed you get from this glitch can be inconsistent at times, and here's why it happens. Right now, Mario is standing right towards the edge of this block, and when I try to perform Speed Glitch with this at this position, you can see I do not get a very high speed. Now, I will try performing Speed Glitch on that same block, but closer to the center of the block, and when I do that, you can see the game ejects me at a much higher speed in order to push me out of the block, and so the closer I am to the center of the block before performing Speed Glitch, the faster the glitch I can get. So, for a while, that is how speedruns of this game were done, until 2018, when L2000 came along and completely changed the game. As you can see here, L2000 actually runs through some of these solid blocks, and you might be wondering how he does that. So what L2000 was trying to do here was perform Speed Glitch as fast as he possibly could. In order to do that, he stood just 1 pixel to the right of the center of the block so that he could get the maximum possible speed. And when he did that, the block pushed him out during Speed Glitch with 20 speed. The other thing you need to know is that each of the blocks in this game are 20 pixels wide. So when you are moving at 20 speed, you are moving exactly 1 block per frame. And the hit detection of this game is only around the edges of the blocks. So when Mario, or Luigi in this case, moves 20 pixels every frame, he never actually overlaps with the edge of a block, because right now he is to the left of the block, here he is directly in the center of the block, and here he is to the right. So the hit detection of a block is never triggered, and Luigi can actually keep running through these blocks at a very high speed. Now, as you can imagine, this is an incredibly useful trick for speedrunners. Not only do you phase through a level at incredibly high speeds, but you can run through solid blocks, avoiding many obstacles entirely. So let's see how exactly you can perform Clip Speed Glitch. So first of all, Mario needs to be standing under the block from which he will perform Speed Glitch, and he needs to be standing exactly 1 pixel to the right of the center of the block. Once Mario is in position, you can crouch jump, and this is absolutely necessary for performing Clip Speed Glitch. You tap left for only 1 frame. You need to tap left for only 1 frame. Then, for the next frame, you tap neither left nor right. So you need to be let go of all side inputs for this one frame, and then from the next frame after that, you need to be holding right. And when you do that, Mario will be running at exactly 20 speed, and he will be aligned with the grid of blocks so that he can run through blocks by avoiding the hit detection from their edges. And this allows you to perform cliff speed glitch and run through many of the levels at incredibly high speeds. Now, there is one caveat that you need to keep in mind when you are trying to perform clip speed glitch. Here, you can see I perform clip speed glitch as usual, but then I am no longer able to run through these blocks. So, in order to see what happened here, we need to go back and see what happened with these blocks. So right now I'm moving at 20 speed as usual, but now when I reach these blocks, what's actually happening is I am moving downwards with such a velocity that it triggers the game's code in order to make me teleport to the right of these blocks. That is a part of the game's code designed to prevent Mario from being stuck inside blocks at any time. So when I teleport to the right of these blocks, what's actually happening is I am not teleporting a full multiple of 20 pixels. Specifically, I am 1 pixel to the left of where I need to be. And when that happens, I can no longer run through these blocks, because on the next frame from this one, if I kept running through these blocks, the leftmost part of Mario's hitbox will now be intersecting with this edge of the block, which is not possible because the game has hit detection on the edges. So it will not let Mario run through these blocks, and you will no longer be able to complete the level. In order to avoid this, you must always be very careful with what routes you choose in order to use cliff speed glitch to go through a level. The other way to accidentally trigger a zip is when you are already inside a block and you tap up. When you do that, once again, it pushes Mario out of the block and it misaligns him from the grid of blocks. So you should always also be very careful to avoid doing that. Finally, I want to show you one more trick from the future of Super Mario Flash speedruns. This is called GCSG. So normally, how we perform speed glitch is by making Mario's hitbox grow so that it can intersect with a block to trigger its hit detection. But the other way to make Mario's hitbox grow is to be small Mario, and then you collect a mushroom. And as you can see, when you collect a mushroom at the exact same frame as when you're about to intersect with a block, you can perform the same inputs and get growing clip speed glitch, or GCSG, which is a really fast way of performing clip speed glitch. This has so far been used in individual level speedruns, and maybe in the future will also be used in full game speedruns. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching.